Hello everybody, welcome to my stream. I'm DC. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram under DC Lasair. That's DC Lasair, exclamation mark DC in the chat. Gets you a link to all the links. You type it in just like that, and magically it should show up in a moment, but it's deciding not to show up in... Okay, Caster Labs. Come on. Oh, you know what also helps? Is if I have StreamerBot on. That also helps. So that was smooth until I forgot that I have to turn on StreamerBot. Where's the StreamerBot? StreamerBot icon, where are you? I don't see you. StreamerBot. StreamerBot. There you are. Alright, I gotta get my, update my open program button, to open up everything I need. So let's try that one more time, shall we? I think we shall. So, exclamation mark DC in the chat. We'll take you to dclasair.bio.link. Link to all my links. And it'll be fantastic. Alright, hope you're doing good. Still raising money for pcrf. If you want to donate, the campaign is still open. So go to that link. Part of Cypher Tears Helping As We Can campaign. And yeah, keep the donations coming in. Alright, let's see. So today, and while I'm clicking things, trying to open up windows to look at, we're going to talk about TTRPGs and actual plays, because I have one coming up on Monday. Just type in Thorn. February 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern, over on the Amphitheater. So go there, check it out. It's called Lords of the Thorn. We're a lot. Get it? Lords of the Thorn, L-O-T-T, lot. Yeah, it's a great gag. Alright, so thought we could talk a bit about it. It takes place in Faerun, of course, except a dead god has been revived, and it's already happened. The avatar of Moander, who is an god of rot in Forgotten Realms lore, that was defeated and killed, and then in my world has been forgotten. But yeah, he came back. Yay! And his avatar of rot, known as the Abomination, is marching its way towards the Sword Coast. And yeah, so the party is going to start in a world that is full of rot, and you know, can they stop it from continuing its march? It's already destroyed a lot of stuff. The Lady of Pain has closed all the doors in Sigil. There's no getting into Faerun or out of it, at least through by means of doors. If you're there, you're there now until a god level threat is eliminated. A world-altering threat so that it cannot spread to other realms. Yeah, and it's slowly marching towards the Sword Coast. And does it get there? Does it not? Something in the middle? Who knows? But the history of Moander, you can Google it. It's on the Forgotten Realms wiki. Is that when Moander was defeated, Loth took part of that profile that Moander controlled. And so we can do some Underdark things. And yeah, that just sounded kind of interesting. So I thought I'd do that. And, you know, that's kind of the world as it is. And then I have my collection of NPCs that I like to use. I've thrown some in. I'm sure there'll be more as I come up with it. And as I come up with them. But I have some favorites I like to reuse in my games because at this point, I know them and I can place them, and though their identities change a bit, it's fine. And I'm keeping track of my world. The world stuff I'm keeping track of in a service called Legend Keeper. And you can find them at just legendkeeper.com, right? Yeah, legendkeeper.com. Let me put that into chat for y'all. $9 a month, so pretty good. I really like it. Does a lot. Why aren't you talking in Twitch chat? All right, well. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. My Caster Lab thing is just behaving weird. Let me reset it. It is posting in Twitch chat, but it's not showing it that posted on Caster Lab, so. Right now I'm using Caster Labs to keep track of Twitch and YouTube chats. And it's up to date. I know it's up to date. I just need it to connect to everything. Please connect to everything this time. That'd be great if you could. Alright, I'm gonna post a message, see if it works. But it doesn't show up on the... Okay, well. Looks like Caster Labs is having an issue today, so we'll use the StreamerBot version. Yeah, doing it live. Open, restore StreamerBot. Give me a chat. Give me a chat. All right. Now I have connected chat over here. Testing it out. There we go. Said hi. Yeah, all right. Works great. So yeah, I use Legend Keeper to keep track of my world, as opposed to something like World Anvil, whatever. It's a wiki style thing. If you use Notion, you should be pretty familiar with what is going on with it. And yeah, so I'm using that to keep track of the world, and then keeping track of the actual play. I'm using my Notion templates, which you can find here. Oh wait, that's a command. Let me find it. This one. Yeah. Oh no, that's my Notion affiliate. Where is my... I am so confused why some things don't show up in this list. Okay. What is going on today? All right. So, Puddleglum, hello. Excuse me while I'm having all the weirdness happen to me today. All right. There we go. So, for the world and stuff, I'm using the service Legend Keeper. For the live play itself, I'm using my actual play production templates, which can link to there. Takes you through post-production and all that. So let me... Actually, I can call that up for y'all and show you what it looks like once you fill it out. Let's put this over here. Let's go to studio mode. Alright. And then add display capture. Doing it live. Yeah. Oh, that's sort of what I want. Yeah, alright. Yay. Come on down. Moving windows around. It's great and awesome. Alright. And then we'll cut out the side there. Okay. Now then. Go to demo window. Yeah. So this is my Notion template in action. Notice I already named it for the new show, Lords of the Thorn. And let's turn on magnifying glass. So you see I have pre-production, and I can just make this bigger. Let's just do that. It's kind of tiny, isn't it? Zoom. Yeah! We'll just make this larger. Cover my face. There we go. Good enough. Let me put this below captions. So you can't at least see my captions and your chat. Okay. So, as you can see, I have pre-production, and these are all little drop downs. So overview tells you what you can do. Overview video. I've made videos for every section of this template. And so I have pre-production. I have a checklist, task board, cast and crew, characters. These are databases in Notion. So you click here, you can see I've marked off some stuff. Crafting story, well, I've done that. But, you know, here's stuff done on my end. I still have to, we know the date and time. We know this. And so, you know, I just have a checklist. Again, instruction drop down tells you what to do. And if you need a new list, you just click it and it'll generate a new list for you. You can also assign tasks to people here on the right. And let's see here. Anyway, and if you want to go back, you can click up here, or I'm not showing you the side view because there's some stuff I don't want you to see, but there's a side view on Notion which lets you click through things, or you can just click up here to go back to the page. But cast and crew, I have my cast and crew master list. I have me, you know, what roles. I'm producer, DM. I also qualify as cast and crew, so that when I go here, I can go crew, I can go cast. You know, here's my players, Crystal, Lori, and Chris. Their socials, our link, so I have, you know, a way to contact everybody. And then this characters one populates after I fill out the character database, so I don't have to worry about that right now. Crystal has posted that she's being Sarissa. And if you've seen the intro, you know you've seen these other names too. And so, and then I have, Maddie did the overlays, Duval and Bill owned the Empatheater, so I gave them roles. And then the roles here allow me to do different views, so I can, if I just want to know who's in my cast, there I go. If I need just crew people, there I go, another view. Otherwise, I have a master list. Gremlin Lynn Art did our character art. Alex Zavesa, I think that's how you say that, is responsible for the music that Maddie used in the intro video that's out on socials. And then go back, characters. Hey, look, here's the characters who they're played by. And with this little arrow here, it's an associated database. So this is pulling names from the cast and crew database, right? As soon as I make a name here, set them as player, I can go back to the character database and played by, and their name will show up in a drop-down list. Like, I just click here, and here's all the names I've entered in that previous database. So I can select whoever, and then just some general information about each character. Level 10, their species, their class. Now, like Crystal is, multi-class, so I indicate that here. Counts as a level 10 character, but level 8 sorcerer, level 2 warlock, right? And then their backgrounds. And just a quick view. If I wanted more character information, other people have done other Notion databases for more in-depth character things. This is really just for production things. Then we go into production. Again, we have instructions, take you to the different lists, and the associated video that I made for it. So you can see the production checklist. I'm not going to be checking these off until the Monday show, but it's right here. Prep before stream, do all that. These are Monday things for me, right? Before the stream happens. And then another checklist just for, hey, I'm the producer. Do I have my recording settings right? Cameras, audio, music, graphics, is all this ready to go? Subtitles, are my scenes working? And I can just check this off. And then I can either uncheck it all, or if I want to keep this, I can click New Producer Checklist. It'll just make a new one for me. Alright, and then episode info. I haven't filled in any of the plot stuff. I know what's happening, but I'm going to show you this because you won't see any plot stuff. So episode info. Now, you can create new episodes. I don't know what I'm going to title this episode yet, so I just season 1, episode 1. Otherwise, the title would go here. If I need a new episode info page, I just click this. It'll create a new one. Click here. So show title, episode title, I don't know yet. Episode number 1, we're going to be recording on the 5th of February. And then episode summary is a drop-down list. Locations, again, drop-down list. And here I'm drawing from the databases I already created in pre-production. So everyone's name here, their characters, their roles. This is kind of unnecessary, but because the way Notion works, it needs this first thing. So I just decided this is going to be called episode role, and then I can put these here. It's just I can't get rid of this column if I create a database in Notion. So right now it just serves as kind of an extra episode role where I can more define things. I don't have to, but I needed something to go there. Otherwise it looks weird just kind of blank and sitting there. So anyway, who's here? Who did what? Another roles. This is an independent database. This is independent from the previous roles database in case anyone's role changes during this particular episode, I can mark them as different for this episode and not change the previous database that I made for everyone. So that's why this is separate. And then if I want extra information, I can do that. Episode notes I'll put here. Encounters, I just put the encounter name, maybe a link to encounter, any notes I want about the encounter. So while I'm DMing and running the show, I have this page open. I'm looking at my summary, my location, my encounter notes, right? Any sponsors, any special thanks. And then this is just a generic show info block. I say generic, but basically title, show title. I'm not sure what I meant with this title block here, but okay. Anyway, show title, episode number. This will be the first one. I'm the producer. Crystal, Lori, and Chris are going to be the cast. TRT stands for total runtime. If you're not used to seeing that in videos and things, what aspect ratio it's shot in, what resolution. The record date's going to be 2/5, and then when I upload it to YouTube, I'll put the VOD link here. And so I just have this block of info, and I have a direct link to it, and I know, everything I need to about this episode in this handy dandy info block. And then if you want to, what I'm also going to be doing, so I don't eventually have just this huge database that's taking forever to load, I'll probably get rid of some of these in the database, but I still want to save them. So what you can do is if you go up over here, 3 dots, and then you go to export, you can export this as a PDF or an HTML file. Let me get the magnifying glass up. So you can export this entry to your PC as a PDF, HTML file, Markdown, or CSV. So I'll probably export as either HTML or PDF. I'll decide which one looks better for me. Put that somewhere on my hard drive, and then after a while, I'll get rid of this one in the database because I don't want this, say I have, we're going to make a really big number. If I had 600 entries, this database would take a long time to load. I don't want to wait that long. So I'm going to take, say 580 of those entries and have them somewhere else saved. Plus it creates a backup of info. And then you could also, if you make a transcript of your live play, you could add that to the same folder. So you just had episode info and the transcript all in one place on your hard drive for your records, or anyone's records really, if you needed to go back for it. So yeah, so that is episode info. Again, go here, click this. Now if I want to, I could make this the template for all the episodes and, click here. Inserts the blocks, right? I can just change what this does. All right, and then we go over to post-production, which I don't have any post-production yet. Again, instructions, the video, all that. You click the post-production checklist, and you can assign people tasks here. You can mark them as in progress or complete. If you want to assign somebody. If you need a new one, just click this and it will create a new list. If you need a new production task list, you click this button here. It'll give you a new list. I'll put this list down below and make your clean one up here. If you need to delete lists because it's getting long and multiple pages when you don't need them, just highlight and then hit the delete button. and this will be clean. Just make sure you're not deleting this button here. And you can clean this out just by highlighting, deleting, hit the new production checklist, and you have a nice, clean, fresh page to work from. So anyway, editing, do you need to do sound, color correction, get completed video to sharing site. So is this YouTube, whatever this is? Have you filled in the text fields? Do you have a thumbnail? Did you schedule the release? Got a transcript? Have you made social media report? And then I include the step of export this so that I have a step telling you, hey, go save this information elsewhere. Engage in responses to social media posts, remind cast, and then before next episode, things to do, changing story based on player actions, changes to art intro process. So I'm doing changes to things before the episode day, check-ins with players, promoting the next episode, and any changes I need to make to OBS or whatever broadcast software you happen to be using. And again, if you go to !templates, go there, go to that bit.ly link, that second one, and you can add this to your Notion. Notion is free. My production template is at no cost. So, Notion has a free tier, I should say. My template is available at no cost. So you're welcome to use it, because they'll be up in this corner. When you click that link, will be a little button. Let me show you what it looks like. So, I can't show you what it looks like. You'll see this. It'll even take you to the page that it's on through Notion. You can click here, and you can click start with this template, or it might say something like duplicate or whatever, and it'll add it to your Notion. And then you'll get a clean one, and then you can rename this, like I renamed, Lords of the Thorn for mine. And yeah. So that is the production templates that I use and I created, because, I use them. I will show you briefly what Legend Keeper looks like as well. Can't show you everything, but just to show that's a simple wiki thing. Let's go back to demo window. This should show you everything. Okay, this I can show you the sidebar on. Let's just full screen. I didn't quite full screen, did it? Oh, I see why. I got to actually... Oh, no, you... One moment while I... because OBS decided to suddenly change the platform. Okay, don't scale the inner bounds. No bounds, please. Close. Thank you. Show me that. But, whatever. All right. We're just going with this. So, this is Legend Keeper. This isn't very fancy right now, but right now, as you can see, here's the title of the thing. My cast list, Lori, Crystal, Chris, characters. Now these have links to their character sheets in them. And I just made, NPC's world, which I can't show you, but it's very wiki, very easy to use. You can add images, you can make a whiteboard-like thing where you have graphics and move them around. And all sorts of things like that there. All right. So yeah, that's a bit of Legend Keeper. Let's do that. So I'm kind of using two online tools Legend Keeper is still the thing. I was using Scrivener, but then I realized that if I'm away, I still need access to all my things. So I went with Legend Keeper, which is $9 a month. So yay, not bad at all. And still kind of looking at world building tools, but right now Legend Keeper is the thing. And Notion is just really handy for a lot of things that I do. So I'm going to keep using Notion for that. And then in OBS, my general setup now, when I do stuff for Demiplane, they have different requirements, but so I made a little graphic of my scenes that I set up in OBS. And basically, I have a starting soon, the intro video when we're live, BRB if we need it, and an end screen. And then all the sources related to these scenes, are going to vary depending on your production. But yeah, these are the buttons I set up on my Stream Deck too. I go, okay, this is a starting soon. Here's the intro video, the live scene, BRB, and that's my basic scene setup for just about all the productions I do, except for when the production requires more things or I want to do more things with the production. This list will change. This list will change and be different. Like when I do stuff for Demiplane, they have different scene requirements. So this isn't their list. This is just mine. And I'm using my mouse cursor on it, like you can see me actually pointing to it. You can't. So yeah, this is pretty standard list, and then all my sources are here, and anything else added in. But this is a good starting point. And then other things get added as I need it. If I need more scenes, or I'm doing something special, or I need a 2-shot or a 1-shot. 1-shot being not like a TTRPG 1-shot, but a single one person on the screen 1-shot. So I'd probably make one labeled 1-shot, and then their name, whose 1-shot it is, or 2-shot. So I'll type it in chat, kind of what I think. So if I did 1-shot DC, so me, sort of like you see me now, this is a 1-shot essentially. So what I put in chat there would probably be how I would label the scene in OBS, and that way I can just make a quick button on my Stream Deck, or if I just click on it in OBS, I can quickly look over, go, okay, that's the shot I need, and it's labeled. I go 1-shot DC, yep, that's what I need. I need me up on screen right now. And so I just, click the button. It's great. And now that I'm playing with audio, I really like audio ducking. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but... So, Tech Friday is going to be about audio ducking. And what audio ducking is making one source, the volume of one source go down, or multiple sources go down, when another source comes up. And on the Rodecaster Duo, you can assign one of the side pads to do it, and with a recent update, you can actually change how far down the sound goes when you start talking. You can also do this in OBS very easily, and I'm going to show that off tomorrow as well. So that'll be Tech Friday. So yeah, I can have background music, I can keep it going while I'm talking, and, you know, just have a pleasant stream. If you have any questions about any of that, it's fine. Oh, so let's see, what next? Oh, I want to go into how I prepare for a campaign overall. And usually I start with the specific inspiration. I don't know how to define that. It's one of those things that just happens, or I'm like, hey, this would be fun, and I take that little bit of an idea, expand on it, and at some point I gotta start with the overall story and how everything happens and interacts. And that I can't really define. You know, you draw inspiration from everything around you, everything you read, see, listen to, right? It all sort of impacts you, and, you know, how you think about it and what forms an idea. I don't know. I can list things that inspire me. If that's ever helpful, let me know, and I will. But after I kind of have an initial idea or plan, what I tend to do is focus on the villain first. So we're talking about now I'm just kind of talking about actual plays here. You can also do this with your own home campaigns. But then I focus on a villain. I'll have maybe one big villain, and maybe there's, you know, like lieutenants underneath there, for lack of a better term. And so I define, okay, so I have this idea. Let's do a, like, end of the world event that's happening currently. All right, great. And we'll, you know, use this old god of rot that hasn't been mentioned a lot anymore, that isn't really used. So I'm going to use them. And they're going to be winning. And then, okay, so who benefits from them winning? Who is against them? Who is, you know, helping them? Why are they helping? And I start developing characters first. And because I'm using Faerun already, we kind of have the world, you know, populated with things. But then, you know, I make my own little twists on Faerun and various things, and I change the myth around slightly. You know, so I'm using Moander, and you can read about Moander on the Forgotten Realms wiki, but you know, not all of that is going to work exactly the same when it comes to my game, right? Because my story is going to be different, and everything sort of serves the story of, you know, everything needs to serve the story I'm telling, or that you're telling, right? Or that the players are helping me tell. And so I have these ideas, I put them out there, and what the players do with them affects how I react for the next episode. And then that's why I have the in the post-production, in the post-production list on my template there, that's why I have change story based on player interactions as a check mark. Like, did they go in an unexpected way? What are they doing that influences the world, that changes where they are? Or does that take this piece over here and move it here? You know, does it rearrange the pieces I've created? And so yeah, basically I have parts to a story. I assemble them in a certain way. And I go, this is a loose assemblage of these parts. These parts are very movable. And I can go, all right, so they went this way first. So that means these other things happen, right? Like, my players are going to have a choice of where to go. They head one direction, certain things happen, other things don't. Other things happen, you know, like there's some static element to a thing, but then there's some things that also change and advance because they're not they're not here to deal with a thing. They're down here dealing with a thing. But this thing up here still moves forward with its ideas. Or do they go back and forth? Or, what's their journey? I don't know. I just have these pieces of the world that they can choose how to interact with. And so I tend to create support NPCs, and then I start with the villain, and kind of go from there. Like, okay, the villain is doing this. The villain has these helpers. They're going to be, maybe they're the fights that lead to the villain. Maybe they turn out to be friends. Maybe they, whatever narrative thread you want to attach to them. But they start off as working for the main bad guy. So I have them. And now the villain's doing this. So what forces are now against the villains? What does that mean? So what is, like, in my game coming up on Monday, what is Waterdeep doing? What are the responses of the heroes that are there? What about the heroes that are now stuck in other dimensions and can't get back through? Are they doing anything? Can they find a way through to get home? What are the current armies doing to defend, and how are they losing? Is my question. Now, yours might be, how are they winning, or whatever, but... And then I build up, okay, so we have kind of one side, another side, we have some gray area to play with. And then, who's supporting the NPCs, or who's supporting the PCs, the NPCs that are supporting the PCs, and why. And that's where I kind of have I've created a stable of NPCs that I use for kind of the things that will, the people that will more or less kind of help the party or cause them problems. And every time I use them, they're a little bit different, but I have sort of like, okay, this person, now they're in this world, how do they function now in this story, as opposed to putting them in this other world? Like, there's a last name that I use, and usually it's some rich, eccentric person that collects weird things, and their first name changes, their age, their, what species they are, that all changes. But essentially, I just keep using that name as they're part of this family that's throughout, whatever multiverse I have in my head. And if you watch AIW, and you've seen on the Paying Pirates channel, and you've seen Benny and his step-brothers, the Minotaurs, they're in my worlds, right? They exist. They're, in one world, they run a security firm. And that's what you'll see them as in the upcoming actual play. And in another world, they run the tech for a military base, right? But they're always Minotaurs. They have the same names, and they are identical half-brothers. Or identical stepbrothers. So... And like, Benny doesn't really have a last name ever. It's just him and his half siblings, and they all look the same. And they're Minotaurs, and that's what kind of stays the same about them through the world, is that they're identical half brothers and they're Minotaurs, and their names, but their jobs will change. And so, over the years, I've just kind of created this stable of NPC, and I add to it and subtract to it it's my stable of NPCs. I can do what I want with them, right? Where they fit in, how they react to things, and yeah. And like another being I use a lot is that of death as a being, as the Grim Reaper, the Skull Face, the scythe, or sickle, whatever you want to call it. And he has a particular function, or they have a particular function because they can be whatever gender. But they usually appear like a window shade rolling up in a Looney Tune cartoon, right? That little thap, 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 right? And that's how they unroll. And even though they are death, they go, when they appear, they are a window shade unrolling. And when they disappear, they roll back up, do the thap, 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 and then vanish. And yeah, so I usually have the character of death in a few of my things as an entity, as a force, right? As a being kind of outside of any gods that are in the particular world as well. Because, gods affect certain worlds, or there's reflection of gods in different worlds. But death is kind of a constant everywhere. And you can have evil gods of death, and so my version of death says that, yeah, people can tap into the power of death and call themselves gods of death and be evil about it and everything like that. But that's them, that they have chosen to be corruptors, and they have found a way to tap into the power of death, or necrotic magic, anyway, of that world, and part of what's in that world. But death themselves is fairly, in my world, is fairly neutral, and is just concerned about souls getting to where they need to go. Any disruption to that is when death goes, hey, I need some help stopping this. And because death deals with a lot of different gods, and there's all these different rules about where people go and who they worship and how many gods there are in any given multiverse, so death just goes, okay, souls need to go where they need to go, and just sort of lets the gods do, whatever it is they do. They kind of have like a handshake agreement. And yeah, that's sort of how death as a being operates in most of my worlds. Being death is sort of a thankless job. Yeah, it is. Hi, Herb. Welcome on in. And it's the gods' messes that cause the workload. Exactly. Yeah, and since death happens everywhere across all time, there's just, this being of death is very different than the gods who are, at least in Forgotten Realms things, gods are either rather singular to a particular world, or there's multiple reflections of gods and of these gods in different worlds. But death is a constant everywhere. And so, yeah, he's fairly neutral. Just, is something stopping souls? Okay, well, because of various deals and things, I need help for you to go do this and help me out here. And just keep the souls going. They made the decisions in life of where they're going. That's not my concern. My concern is they get there. So yeah. So there's sort of this, while gods are infinite beings, there's sort of this other being outside of them that affects everything, like the stars die, right? The sun, our sun, and here in the real world, in billions of years is going to die. That's a billion years away. Earth might be a wasteland well before the sun explodes and dies, right? But death still occurs in everything. So I have death sort of outside of all that. And that's just how my universes tend to function. So let's see here. I've gone over my templates. I've gone over some of the world building I do and the ideas around that. What else can we talk about here? Going over actual plays. I will be producer and DM for the actual play on Monday. So yay, doing 2 things. Oh boy. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, so I've been working on the story, and really all I need is episode 1 ready to go. So kind of have some ideas for the next episode, but something like the players got to make decisions about episode 1 before I have an idea for episode 2. But doing you always do 2 things. Well, okay, this is true. I'm kind of used to it now, I suppose. Hey, you can hire me to do one of the 2 things. If you want me to DM or if you want me to produce, I'm very hireable to take some workload off of you, right? Or you can hire me and I can do both. And you can just go to my coffee. They want you to say coffee, I think. Go to that link and yeah. Or if it's longer term, you can email me info.dclasair@gmail.com. If you go to dclasair.bio.link, it is all my things. Let's see here. Yeah, dclasair.bio.link. It even has a little button you can hit that looks, like the standard email icon to send me an email. So do that. Have you played with anyone in this cast often? It's interesting to see what choices they make and how it fits into your plan, or whether you have to recalculate like a GPS between sessions. Yes, all the current players I have played with before. Crystal and Lori I have known the longest, and I've played in multiple games with them over the past 4 or 5 years. I had a show called The Inspectors, and that was on a channel that did things, and we kind of got thrown together in that channel. And then when that channel fell apart, I was able to take the show, move it to another channel, and then we were there for a while. And then so this is kind of this new show is kind of the culmination of all those previous ideas, and my current cast has played with me in some version of those previous ideas before. So yeah, yes, and I attempt to, and it doesn't always work right? But I attempt to make pieces that I can slide around and move and go, oh, yeah. So hopefully I have planned it enough where any recalculation I have to do isn't like a major, okay, what am I doing? I've only had to do a major recalculation one time, and that was in a home game when the party just took the most dangerous path. I put up all the red flags, all the red lights, saying, here's a path. You don't know where this leads, but it's a nice forest. Where it is, you don't know, but it's a forest. Or here's every dangerous thing that, we've gone to. Well, we're going to go into the everything dangerous path. And now I'm thinking, that was just to kind of show you what you're up against later. But now I want you to survive, and now I have to change everything in this exact moment because the plan was for you to, you had like 4 different places you could have picked. And even though I threw up the red flags and like, no, this is bad idea zone. They're like, we're going bad idea zone. And I'm like, oh, how do I make it so you live through this? Because you're not strong enough to live through this. That this is a later mission. So that was on the fly recalculations, and I didn't get a between sessions for that. So. Yeah, so that was the only time where I was really in a lot of danger. That was a lot of, oh, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Lady Luck 34, hello, welcome on in. Y'all should be following Lady Luck 34. If you want to know about organizing, planning, or what's going on in the world of Detective Pikachu, check out Lady Luck 34. All right, and thanks to conversations with Lady Luck 34, I'm getting a planner on Saturday. I get to fill out and use my. I have many fancy pens to use. Being an enabler is also a skill I have. Right, like I got a lot of these fancy pens. I got 2 more here, and then I have Lay Pen Flex. These here. Careful, that hobby will consume you, right? Look, I've already bought fancy pens. Well, I've had these fancy pens for a while, with intent to use them, and didn't really have anything to use them, but now I'm getting a planner in which I can use them. Yeah, they are. These are the Lay Pen Flex. Flexible rubberized brush tip. Quick drying. If I can open up the case, which I'm failing at opening up the case. Get down there. There. The case flips down. So yeah, take out the pink. Here's the tip on it. You can kind of see it. There it is. There, it's in focus there. And do I have something I can write on? Yeah, I'll just write on the back of this. So there's how it writes. I don't know why the envelope is green screening, but it's green screening. Whoop, whoop, there. That's how it writes. Pretty nice. DC showing us just the tip, right? So yeah, I'll probably be... What are you using for green screen? I have the... So, Herb, I copied you. I have the Elgato green screen, right? But I'm using the NVIDIA Broadcast green screen thing. Or NVIDIA Broadcast is this camera you're seeing now. So yeah, and thanks to... Yeah, that can be hard for props, yeah. And also thanks to LadyLuck34, I'll probably do a planner stream of some kind in the after next week. So crisp, except when you bring a non-person thing in the frame, right? Like, I could show you my massive D20, but it has green in it, so I don't know how well that shows up. Oh yeah, see, it's kind of grayish, but trust me, those flecks in there are supposed to be green. Planning, woo! Yeah. I just have the one planner. I don't have any washi tape or anything like that, so I'm holding off, holding myself back from, you know, other things. It's just the pens and the planner, and we're gonna be good there. We're gonna pretend we are good there. Probably safer that way. For now, exactly. So, what was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, right, actual plays and things. But hey, planner derailment. I didn't want to start another video game today because I'm doing Tech Friday tomorrow, and so, like, starting a brand new video game for one day, I'm like, no, let's just push new video game to next week. And that way I have, 3 or 4 days of playing the video game, and I don't get invested in something for a couple hours, and then, well, I want to play more of this. I can just know I'll be playing 3 or 4 days straight of a video game. I don't know what video game I'm playing. If you have suggestions, put them in the chat. Because I finished Sea of Stars yesterday, and gotta find something new to play. Or maybe it's a game I have that I haven't gone through yet. But yeah, so suggestions are welcome at this point. Because I really don't know. All right. So I was talking actual play stuff and producing these things. And once again, we went over my templates. So !templates in the chat. And I showed you what I'm doing for the show on Monday. That'll be awesome. And then I might do another one of these talks. I have to set up. That peaked. I apologize. Wow. Okay. It peaked out there. Hold on. Apologies. That went very loud. Let me turn myself down a bit. Alright, so I'll do another one of these once I have everything set up in OBS, just to show off how everything interacts, Like I said, these are the scenes. Those are the scenes that I tend to have lined up. And then I'll show you the sources and how I'm bringing in all the audio and all that, but that'll probably be next week or the week after. I can show you how I produce it, and then arranging buttons on a Stream Deck, and that can be a whole thing. But yeah, I was working on the scenes today for the show on Monday before we went live, so not everything is together quite yet, but I'm getting there. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I've gone over NPCs, a bit about world and how I build a world. I was talking about the players in this actual play. So, as I mentioned, I played with these players before, and Lori and Crystal have probably, other than my friends that are in my hometown that I play with, they're probably the people I've played TTRPGs with the longest. Yeah, and I think I'm running the Spelljammer game on Sunday. Again, that's my in-home personal game. But yeah, I think I'm doing Spelljammer again on Sunday. That'll be fun. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, so, and then out of all the streaming spaces I've existed in and things I've done, I'm like, hey, Lori, Crystal, come over here. I need help, and they help me out, or they're on a show or something like that for me. So they've been very, very kind with their time as far as that goes. And so the show on Monday will have Crystal Fear, Calamity Jane, that's _JAYN, and Chaos Chris, who I've only known about a year or so, and he was in the previous game with me. So yeah, they were all willing to do it, and so I'm like, yay. And yeah, I asked them to do that, and I asked Duval for help for casting. I'm like, I have these three, and yeah, so, and I was hoping for 4, just other people were busy. I'm like, Duval, help. And, the people he reached out to were just all busy on Mondays or whatever their reasons were. So I'm like, okay, well, not gonna wait forever, so let's go with 3. And yeah, they all agreed, and we're continuing on. So hopefully it's a fun watch. I brought a wrecking ball into Faerun, which is exciting. For me, it's like, nope, Faerun's infected with rot. All over. It's winning. So hey, Sirius in with the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome on in, Sirius. Thank you for bringing your community over here. I'm DC. I'm a producer, streamer, moderator, wearer of hats. Fluffy, hello. I do all the things. Yeah, Lily, welcome on in. And thank you for the resub. Yay. So yeah, do me a favor, hit that follow button below if you're new here. Got a raid and run to pick up food. Ooh, yeah, TTRPG talk is going great. Thank you. Yes, go get food. If you need to take care of yourself, do the self-care. By all means. So click the follow button, and if you could, over here, down here is my little icon. It says live below it. If you click that twice, it'll get rid of the referral raid link that you probably see in your URL, and that way you count as a viewer for the stream. You can also find all of my stuff at dclasair.bio.link. If you want to email me, you want to see what I've been doing, things like that, it all goes to there. And by the way, I've had a YouTube short pick up over 2,000 views, and it's been up less than 24 hours. So if you want to help it continue to blow up, let's see here, which one is it? Yeah, it's this one. Oops, I don't want to play it, I want to share it. Share. Copy. So, go give this YouTube short all the views. It's brilliant. Give it all the likes. Help make it blow up more. Like I say, sometimes a short just takes off, and that one has over 2,000 views for some reason. So excellent. Keep the chaos strong. All right. I haven't taken a break yet, so I'm going to take a break. Give me about 5 minutes, and we'll do more of this when I come back. If you have questions on, I've been talking about actual plays, and what I do in TTRPGs, and how I use my Notion templates for production, world building. So if you want to talk about that, or if you have any questions on that, please put them in chat while I'm on break, and be right back. See you in 5. Hello and welcome back. I have to unmute myself. So, though I don't have to unmute myself, I realized because I could just turn off the audio ducking, but I tend to turn the audio ducking on for stream. But since you can't hear my microphone, but my Rodecaster Duo can hear my microphone, you'd be hearing the music, and then if I talk or something, the music would suddenly lower for you, and you would have no idea why. So I need to make sure I either turn off ducking or mute myself when I switch to the BRB screen or when I'm on the starting soon screen. Because, the music would lower like it does right now and raise back up at really weird intervals, and it would be a strange experience for you all. But I suppose I'm about strange experiences, so maybe that'd be okay too. Propel, Black Cherry, pretty good. Alright, I will be at GaryCon with a panel. ! GaryCon in chat. You can bookmark that. Depending on your badge level is when you can sign up for events. So all the events are free, I believe. Mine's free. So yeah, if you want to know about producing TTRPGs, you can watch streams like this one, or grab a ticket to the live event. That would be fantastic. And I have to fill out panel thing for Gen Con as well. And those might be my cons this year. I'm not sure on any others at the moment. But yeah, so GaryCon is coming up, and then Gen Con's usually August. I may be going to Chaosium Con just because it's nearby. It's like a couple-hour trip for me, so, and some friends are going, and I can stay with them, so yay. And Chaosium does the Rivers of London. They do Call of Cthulhu. What else? They have the basic role-playing Universal Game Engine, 7th Sea. All that. RuneQuest. So yeah, and they have a convention once a year, and it's slightly northish of me, so yeah. If you're interested in any of those games, check out Chaosium. And just enjoy the music. So, well, I think I've gotten over mentioned most of the things. What else can I talk about? Maybe DMing? Yeah, I can break into DMing. So, I tend to build pieces of, because where to start? So I was a film and video student. And the university I went to, that degree was in communications, so I have a bachelor's of science in communications. Yay! It's just under their film and video umbrella, or film and video is under their communications umbrella. And so, I've learned about script writing and various ways to make a story all on a screen, right? And movement and how that functions. And making discrete blocks of, just containing the information people need, and then it's for the other artists to fill in things like that. And so I kind of use that as a letting my players' imaginations go with the information I provide, and just they can, see the world in 4 or 5 different ways, right? From what I'm seeing it, but we're all in the same thing. But they all have their own individual movie up in their minds of what's happening. So what I tend to do is create scenes, and I'll create as I mentioned earlier, I usually start with the villain or villains, and I fill in the forces working with them and the forces working against them, and where there's a gray area, and who's making money, who's not, who needs this, that type of thing. And then once that's figured out, then I have kind of the support NPCs, or it's not necessarily free support, but they can be helpful NPC, or maybe they're just a jerk NPC, but they're kind of on your side maybe. And then I have the discrete blocks of things, like, okay, here's event, here's event, here's event. They can choose these events. If they go here, then this event, but I still want this event to occur. Well, now I need to move this over here. So I just have these blocks that I can move around that aren't static, and adjust in the story. And so I tend to plan those out ahead of time. Like, for the show, we're doing, I think, 10 episodes for a season, something like that. So I kind of have where I want the players to end up, but a lot of that in between stuff isn't so solid. I have a beginning, I have an end, I have things to happen in the middle, but those things need to be able to move around based on player decision, and then maybe even the ending change based on player decision. But I kind of have, roughly 3 anchor points, like, your beginning, your middle, your end. And the middle one is more movable than any of the others, but the others can change too. And so I look at that and go, okay, here's this, and then a lot of the middle is, I'll do a beginning just to get the players going, everything, but a lot of that middle is up, so a lot of the meat is up to the players. And yeah, and it depends on your group. Maybe if I was playing with newer people, maybe they need more description, more guidance, and things like that, and that's fine too. Depending, but for this particular show, that's kind of how, because I know the players and we played before, that's kind of how I arrange things to go for over, I'm doing 10 episodes in a season, so these 10 episodes will kind of look something like this. And then, so episode 1 informs episode 2, episode 1 and 2 inform episode 3, and so forth, right? And for me, a lot of DMing is just trusting my gut and knowing, okay, I believe in myself to be able to tell a story. I've written scripts, I've done storytelling before, things like that. I know a lot of plots and things, and I've been playing games for many years, and so I just sort of trust myself to be able to adjust things. And sometimes that, like, when I first started, I was just full of anxiety, and the only thing I had to go on was, okay, all right, I believe I can tell a story. Let's just go with those instincts, because I am very nervous and I have, no idea what I'm doing other than I'm going to tell this story, and hopefully players go along with it. Yay! And yeah. Pound relatable, yeah. Right? By the way, Urban Bohemian's a really good DM. You should watch Rivals of Waterdeep, where he and Eugenio co-DM the season. And check out anything else Herb DMs. Just do it. Let's see. And so it was about moving pieces around and trusting myself, and kind of moving past that. I'm on a camera. I have, a ring light in my face. I have a microphone. I'm about to talk to. I don't know how many people I have. I have a solo DM 2 times. One of them streamed. This is false advertising. Easy. Go seek out the time that Herb streamed, DM'd. Go find that and watch it, because Herb's really good. Sorry, I need to check something real quick. Okay. Sorry, I had a reminder on a thing set, and the reminder went off. Amazing. Ooh. All right. So yeah, and then usually for the episode, I have an encounter set, or maybe a couple of encounters set, and I use right now I'm using the encounter builder on D&D Beyond. And, I look through monsters. I pick, okay, I can use these here. That'll probably be the encounter. All right, great. And maybe I have another encounter or 2 planned that might happen that episode if there's time. Or another one. Because when you're looking at an episode and the time you have in, I really want to... Most things I run are... Except for the charity games. Charity games, I let go longer, but basically I want to keep to 2 hours or less, and I really want to get into that or less category. Heck, I'd like to do a stream game that's just released in 20-minute chunks. That'd be amazing. Or, 45 minutes. I think that'd be great. But 2 hours is long enough. I know I tend not... If a movie is over 2 hours, I really consider whether I actually want to go to it or not. Or if I just wait for the VOD to come up. Can I get it on Prime? But luckily, you can do that with my show, because the VODs will be up on YouTube. So if you want to watch part of it, pause it, come back to the rest of the episode in a while, you can. So when looking at that 2-hour time limit, and when I have 3 or 4 people and a combat round, And I go, okay, so generally, I mean, combat rounds can last as long as you want them to last. But generally, for audience interest, I'm keeping it to 3 to 5 rounds, 3 rounds being optimal for me. And for 4 players, for 3 to 4 players, those 3 to 5 rounds takes about 45 minutes. And so I know if I have an encounter, and it's a combat encounter, that is 45 minutes of time out of my 2 hours. And, if you have more players, that might increase, 6 to 8, maybe it takes a full hour of combat. And so if I need to break up that combat in half, I have that in mind when I go into the episode. Like, here's the combat. Okay, we have 20 minutes left, so we can do 20 minutes, and then I'll have to think of something to break up the combat and go to pick it up next episode where we can complete the combat in. But generally, I want a combat to be contained in one episode if I can, unless it's like a big, epic, the big bad evil guy of the season type thing. Then that might actually extend out because it's a more involved combat, and that goes out. But your more regular combat, like 3 to 5 is probably good for 3 to 5 turns. Probably good for a show. And that can vary, and depending on your pacing and how you feel your players go and how quickly they move. But usually 3 to 5 rounds can take about 45 minutes with 4 players. So okay. So I have that for my player block. I have 5 to 10 minutes for intro, another couple minutes for recap, and then I need 5 to 10 minutes for outros and credits and everything like that. And so you can see how much time you have left for all the other things you need to do, right? Social interactions. Maybe you have an NPC and one social interaction social encounter, maybe that takes 20 minutes. And so, and a lot of that, and part of that is combat and things on a show versus around a table where you're looking up a lot of rules, or you have all the books open, someone needs to get up, whatever, and do all these various things. It's very different when you're doing it on a show compared to around with your friends. Like, I know for a show I gotta keep a pace up. I have this amount of time to do these things, and I kind of got it at certain time markers. I gotta hit this thing so we can get through it, so we can get to so we can work our way through story during the episode, come to an end, and hopefully it was interesting and you stay tuned, and you come back for the next episode. But my home game, I don't really worry as much about all that stuff. I have an idea how long things will take with my friends and things, but we usually spend a little longer. We don't just have 2 hours to play. We kind of block off part of an afternoon to play. And, we can talk and have fun and update each other on all our things and everything, because we're all friends, right? With that. And, if you ever want to challenge yourself as a DM, one thing you can do, and this one thing I did, maybe this is scary for you, maybe it isn't, I don't know. So, when I first started DMing a few years ago, for my friends, I did the system is called Open Legend RPG, and it's freely available. All the rules are online. If you want a fancy book, well, then you gotta pay for the book. But otherwise, all the rules are online. You can find it. It's a really good game. So this was the first game I ran. I ran it for my friends, and and because it's open RPG, not only is it open, you can also put it in any world. So I was doing after World War II into the Cold War thing, and there were mechs and time travel and all sorts of stuff, right? And so I would prepare notes for each session, and I got to about page and a half of notes. Would last me 3 hours, and I'm like, well, can I shorten this down? So I'm like, okay, let's do a page. Let's take off this half page. I don't need it. I know what's going on with these characters and everything. I have my story built. I have things they can do and everything. So let's do a page of notes for this session. Okay. And then I'm like, what if I did a half a page of notes? So now I'm like, okay, half page of notes, 3 hour session, go. And yeah, so now my notes are half page. And then if I'm for my friends, sometimes I've arranged combats, I have ideas in my head, and I don't bring many notes with me at all anymore. Not because I don't prepare, but because I just know where I'm going and what they're doing, things like that. But yeah, so I got 3 hours of gameplay into half a page of notes. And I'm like, neat. So that was how I challenged myself when I started DMing. Like, how much do I need in front of me? Where's it was kind of a confidence building exercise in a way. And like the charity one-shots I do are usually, I kind of have the highlights written down. I have in my head what's going on, or what's happening. And, I have the combats and the combat encounter on D&D Beyond, so I can just activate them there and have them go. And initiatives, I can just fill in initiative. I don't have to spend time rolling it. Things like that. Oh, just a second. If you want to save some time, and I haven't done this yet because I like rolling live, but what you can do is create a matrix of D20 rolls, right? So maybe you have, say 20 D20 rolls on a grid on a piece of paper, and then as you need a roll, you go, okay, well, I rolled a 20, and then cross that off, and then okay, here I rolled a 5, so this would be the next roll I do. I rolled a 5, and I think you can auto generate these somehow. There might be a site for that by now, I don't know, or you can just roll a D20 how many ever times you want. And then, you don't know when these rolls will be used, but the next time you would roll, you just look at this chart, cross it off, and whether you go this way or, whether you go horizontal or vertical, keep that consistent. And go, okay, so, alright, and now the villain is going to attack you with a multi-attack. Nope, I missed twice there, and just cross those off and keep going. Like I said, I don't do that, but I'm not opposed to it either. And if you want to save some time, you can get yourself a little matrix of d20 rolls. Whether, like I said, whether you sit there, roll right down, or you get them auto-generated, up to you. But yeah, it's a time save. And as long as you're honest with it, and you just keep going, like, okay, it's oh, now I have to make an opposed check, or now I have to resist a spell. Oh, failed that, or succeeded that, One happens to be a 3, the other a 15, so the 3 is next. Okay, failing that roll. And, yeah. Save time. Mikey, hello! Welcome on in. Good to see ya. Been a while. Glad you're here. Well, Jake, can just talk about D&D and things like that. And let me check something really quick. Why do I have a bunch of notifications? Okay. Notifications I don't have to worry about. Cool. Love that. Excited for you and Crystal to be gaming on Twitch again. Yeah, thank you. And once again, that is coming up Monday over on the Amphitheater. Duval's channel. Duval in Philadelphia run that channel. So they said, hey, you want to do a show? I'm like, yes. And it took a while. It took a while for everything to fall together, and that was for many reasons that I don't have time to get into right now. But now we finally put everything together. Will it always be on Mondays? Yes, that is when the cast was able to get together. We had to pick a time slot, and we were looking at Mondays or Wednesdays, and we fell on Mondays. Was just the best for everyone. So yeah, the idea is weekly on Mondays, and we're doing 10 episodes in a season. Don't know how often you'll be able to make it. No, well, there will be the VODs, so by all means. Yeah, it's gonna be 7 to 9 p.m. on Mondays. That's just when the cast was able to get together, and the channel had the Amphitheater had a time slot available for us. So yeah, there wasn't any, oh, I need this time slot for these reasons, or it's just when we could get together, and when there was something on the show, like, okay, well, that's when we go, I guess. Anyway, it is about time for me to leave and have some dinner. So let's wrap up. Let me see if there's anyone on to throw a raid to. Thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're working nights now? Yeah. Let's see here. But, I haven't been able to raid Mental Lamia, I don't think. We'll do that. Hey, JD lady. Yeah, hello. Welcome on in. Oh, you're wrapping it up. Yeah. I can, if you have, I was talking about TTRPG stuff, so if you do have any questions, I will wait a few minutes and by all means ask. Will I be making it to C2E2 this year? Unknown. That might be a last minute decision this year. Let me double check the time. April 26th, April 28th. Not a bad time, but yeah, a lot of times it's based on if I can stay with my friend or not. And, yeah, cons are not cheap, yeah. Yeah. But if I can make it, I will let you know. It might be a very last minute thing this year. I like going to C2E2, it's usually fun. But, yeah. I will be at Gary Con and Gen Con for sure. Any other cons? I don't know. I should be at Gary Con because I'm running a panel at Gary Con, so... Anyway, we are going to take a raid over. So thank you all for being here. Glad you could come on by. Once again, tomorrow will be Tech Friday. I think I want to talk about audio ducking. Elgato has a new product out, a new capture card. They have 2 new capture cards out. One goes inside the machine, one's for the outside of the machine. So we can talk about those and audio ducking. And go to dclasair.bio.link for all the things. And yeah, that's where we'll end for today. Thank you for being here. Please be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and I will see you all tomorrow for Tech Friday. Stay tuned for the raid. Bye.